Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very glad to be here today to present you this conference, this new concept about how electromagnetic field can improve animal health and animal performance. Probably some of you have already heard about that. Some of you already stopped by our booth yesterday or this morning and know a little bit about. For other of you, maybe it's the first time. So I will try to do my best to make you understand this new concept about electromagnetic field and its application in animal nutrition. So my name is Caroline Decaux. I'm an agronome. I've been working in the animal industry since more than 10 years in France, Argentina, and in Canada now. And I'm presently R&D Manager at Ceresco Nutrition. I'm working on the effect of electromagnetic field on animal health and performance since more than 4 years. So today we know that the nutritionists have to front many challenges from reducing feed costs to improve animal health and animal performance, improve feed digestibility. And feed additives have been one of the main tools to meet this challenge. And for every challenge, the nutritionists use one product trying to answer this problem. For example, for improving feed digestibility, we use enzyme to improve feed intake. We use kind of farrowing product to control the risk of disease. We use, of course, antibiotic. And also, of course, now we have to, with the resistant microbial growing, we need to find alternative to antibiotic. So there is some product like essential oil or also prebiotic, probiotic to improve gut health are used into the feed. And another main challenge for them is environmental concern. And we have to find a way to reduce all environmental problems, control ammonia, for example, and we use kind of binding product. So in fact, the idea is that when day after day new problem appear and new challenge come up, and we need to find a new additive to answer this challenge. What's happened, in fact, what happened if we take a step back and we look at the digestive system of the animal as a whole? What we realize in all this physiological process, there is a key player, which is water. Water is involved in all the physiological process like digestion, absorption, and transport of nutrients across the gut. And all this reaction works by ionic exchange. And so, in fact, water appears like a key player. And we know that water represents between 70 and 90% of the body volume. Depends on age, but I don't know if you know that if you look at the cells, more than 99% of the molecule in a cell are water molecule. So that lets you imagine how water is important for all the reaction. And of course, water is not only present in the digestive process, but water is present everywhere in the body. So that means if we are able to work on water property, in fact, we are able to influence the rate of all biochemical reaction, and we are able to influence the rate of all ionic exchange. So now let me introduce you a new technology that we bring in the market some years ago that is able actually to work on the water property, make the water more efficient to exchange ionic exchange, to exchange ion by using electromagnetic frequency. All right, so maybe first time for you. So what is electromagnetic frequency? Actually, here in this room, we are surrounded by electromagnetic frequency. Even if we cannot see it, they are everywhere. Your cell phone emits electromagnetic frequency. The light, the sunlight is a kind of electromagnetic frequency. The microwave where you warm your food is also kind of electromagnetic frequency. It looks like a wave. You can imagine a ripple pond or a wave, and it's traveling through the space and the time. And faster is traveling the wave, higher is the intensity. A frequency can be hertz, unit is hertz, and electromagnetic is defined by amplitude, intensity, and frequency. And another very important characteristic of a frequency that the frequency is able to transfer one information. I'll give you a simple example. When you are listening your radio, and you, for example, you listen on 100.9 hertz, you will receive one information. If you change a little bit the station to 100.2, 100.5, Hertz, you will receive a totally different information. So one frequency is equal to one information. Electromagnetic frequency have different functions. They are used by all our industry now. From on the left side, you have the lower frequency. They are used to communicate, like satellite, television, telephone, cellular. And then they can be used to heat, the microwave. In the middle side, you have the, oh, that's, I don't know, but it's a visible light. That's the sunlight, actually, where is because of that you are able to see the world in color. And then you have on the right side of the graph, you have the higher frequency. They are more energy, so they are able to ionize cells and to penetrate tissue, even we use to observe cosmos. And you have also infrared, which is used today to, for example, treat some blood circulation disease. Of course, ultraviolet is known to synthesize vitamin D. You need actually ultraviolet to synthesize vitamin D. So now we cannot ignore any more electromagnetic frequencies. They are everywhere, and we need it to do everything, almost everything. In fact, the use of electromagnetic frequency on biological function is not new, is studied by researchers, by scientific persons since more than 100 years. The first one, maybe the most famous one to put in evidence that electromagnetic field can treat some disease is Nikola Tesla, which is a founder of all our industry. He put in evidence that electromagnetic current is not harmful. And then later in 1920, George Lakhovsky, he worked with Nikola Tesla and invent a device which is called a multi-oscillator device. And he was able to treat animal, plants, and even human. He was able to treat some cancer using electromagnetic frequency. So in the picture, that's real picture here, you can see this is kind of device. It's like here. So it's it looks like a shell. And he's able to emit a large range of frequency to treat the cells of the body. So then in 1981, Frederick Albert Pope, he put in evidence another very important fact for the science. He discovered that DNA also emits electromagnetic signal. He measured actually the photon emission. And then in 1982, a French doctor, Jacques Beneviste, he also discovered very, very interesting fact, scientific fact, that the signal of a substance can be transferred in the water. And this kind of signal can be detected in the water even if the substance is not here anymore. And then in 2014, Nobel Prize Luc Montagnier, he confirmed the first discovery of Beneviste, and he confirmed that the water can retain the signal of DNA of bacteria, and this signal can be retained in water and transferred by computer. So based on all these facts, we know today, because of the researcher, we know today that electromagnetic frequency can stimulate biological function. They also can be used to treat some disease. We also know that cells, DNA, emit electromagnetic field, so it goes in two directions. And we know that this kind of electromagnetic signal can be transferred to the life system through water. So here water seems to be a key player to transfer electromagnetic signal. I'm going to just tell you some words about water to make you understand why water is able to do that. So of course, probably everybody knows that water is a dipole, so there is a plus and a minus pole. And because of this dipole is able to move, to oscillate under electromagnetic field, is exactly what's happened in a microwave. When you put the food in the microwave, that's because the water molecule moved under electromagnetic field that they make the food warm. So now, what happens when we send electromagnetic signal to water? So here you have the water, the bulk water without any structure actually, but under electromagnetic field, the water is able to reorganize currently. Here's a bulk water, no organization, and in you have structured water. So water is able to do that because of the hydrogen bond, so the link between oxygen of one molecule and hydrogen of the other molecule. And we know by these two scientists, Emilio Del Giusse and Professor Gerard Pollack, they have put in evidence that structured water contains more electronegative charge, which is very favorable for all biochemical reactions. So now I show you something very interesting. That's a picture of a water molecule, and we submit water molecule at two different frequencies. First, the frequency 432 Hz, and when we take a picture, we obtain this kind of structure. When we change a little bit, see it's not so much, little bit the frequency, we have different structure. So it means one frequency is one information, remember, one frequency, one information, and is also one structure. And we know in the body, in the life system, that the structure makes the function of the molecule. So by using frequency, we are able to modify function of water. That's very interesting, but you probably wonder what is the link with animal health and animal performance. So that's why we need to find a way to transfer or to bring this kind of frequency into the gut, into the digestive system of the animal. So for that, we need a specific carrier. Not all carriers are able to transfer electromagnetic field. We need some kind of specific silica, which have a specific structure. So I know that silica is a very common mineral. Everybody probably in the animal industry use silica as an anti-caking agent or toxin binder also. In fact, this kind of silica, they contain SiO2, so they contain silicon and oxygen, but they have an amorphous structure, which means they don't have any arrangement, any specific arrangement. And on the other side, you have the crystalline structure of silica, same composition, but different structure. And remember, different structure is different function. So crystalline silica, they don't have any power to absorb water, but they have a very great property to transfer electromagnetic field. Actually, they have the great property of oscillating. So that's here, you can see the molecule of silicon dioxide oscillating under electromagnetic signal. So you cannot see it, but it's moving. They kind of silica, they are able to keep the signal, the oscillation inside the structure for a very long time, and they are very precise. So now let me introduce you a new technology called Silica Plus that uses this technology of electromagnetic frequency to improve animal performance and gut health. So a lot of people ask me why we call that silica, because it's so common. In fact, here what is important is not silica, but that's the plus, which is the reference of the information we print inside the structure. So that product is 100% natural mineral. It's a crystalline silica source extracted from the ground in France. It's micronized in 40 micron and is activated by a transfer of electromagnetic frequencies. And it's chemical free, environmental friendly, and is not absorbed by the gut, so it is extracted outside and chemical free, and is manufactured in France. Very simple here, the technology, what we do exactly. I'm not going to tell you all the secret, but just some. First, we extracted, and we activate the structure with some laser device. Then what happens in contact with water, so inside the gut of the animal, because the product is intended to be added to the food, so to the feed inside the gut, there is a contact with water, and the mineral will transfer the signal to the water. The water will receive it and organize coherently with the signal, so the water will have a specific structure, very rich in free electrons, and because of this electronegative charge, we are able to improve all ionic exchange. So what happened exactly in the gut? So mode of action. First action of this product is in the gut. It will improve digestive process. And second action is outside, because the product is not absorbed, it's rejected, and it will improve water quality, and also will reduce ammonia emission. So just to summarize, here you have the technology. We use a crystalline silica informed by electromagnetic frequency, transfer the signal to the water. So we transfer specific information to the life system of the animal. The consequence, the main action is improvement of ionic exchange by providing free electron. And what happened exactly, based on all the scientific research we have done so far, we can see that this product improves enzymatic reaction. It also improves protein and mineral digestibility. We have observed synergy with specific additive like antibiotic acidifier. And also outside, when it rejected, it will increase dissolved oxygen in water and reduce ammonia emission in manure and litter. Now I'm going to present you some results. We have done more than 15 trials in different species, swine, poultry, and aquaculture, and we worked with a very famous research center in university over the world. Here I give you some, but the CRESAD is in Canada, Scotter's Field Research in Netherlands, University of Arkansas in US. We also worked with China, University of Beijing, and University of South China Agriculture University. Here in Asia, we work, in Vietnam, we work with Nam Lang University. We have done a shrimp test with Professor Locke. And Professor Wittiporn conducted a shrimp test as well in Prince of Songkhla University in Thailand. So in swine, very quickly, so what we can see in piglet performance when we compare Silica Plus group versus control, in all the tests we have done, we can see that the product is able to improve overall daily weight gain by an average of, let's see, 5.6%. When we are in commercial farm, we always see better results than when we are in research farm where the performance are already very high. I don't know if I tell you, but that the dosage is very low. It's 200 grams per ton of feed. If we continue to give the product from weaning to the end, we can see an extra kilo of 2.5 kilo, extra weight of 2.5 kilo at the end of the production. So from, let's say, 8 kilo to 100, 120 kilo, depending on the market. On the FCR, we also seen a reduction of the FCR by, depends on the condition, but we can see average of 9 points. Then another interesting thing we have observed is like in these two tests, we can see on the left side that conducted on piglet, the final weight of piglet. If we just, is in Europe, so in Europe, of course, they don't use any more antibiotics, they use large quantity of acidifier. And in this case, they use 5 kilo of acidifier per ton of feed. We get this 24 kilo, we get 24 kilo. Here. In case we use just Silica Plus, not acidifier, almost the same result, a little bit more. But in case we use the two products together, we observe the better performance, 24.7 kilo, which means like there is a synergy effect in between the two products. And same thing happened here in Canada when we use growth promoter, which means antibiotic and copper, very high dosage of copper and zinc. Then we use just Silica Plus in another group. And when we use both together, we get the best result. So again, we see another kind of synergy effect between Silica Plus and this additive. Here on growing pig and metabolic cage, we have seen that the product is able to improve the protein digestibility by 11% and calcium and phosphorus digestibility as well. Here you can see. And so when we have seen that the product improves protein digestibility, we try to add some 10% DDGS on the standard diet. Of course, when you use DDGS, you lost some performance. But with Silica Plus, we were able here, when we add Silica Plus with 10% DDGS, we were able to compensate this loss of performance and maintain the same final weight at 99 kilo. This test was done by the MAFIC in collaboration with University of Beijing in China. And that done in a commercial farm, two commercial farms in France, where we see that when the product is added to the feed, we are able to reduce the ammonia emission by almost 50%. I'm not going to read all to summarize, but just one point we need to keep in mind that extra profit per pig, because we improve weight gain and we reduce FCR, we're able to reach between $3.5 and $6 per pig extra profit. It means the cost of the product is included. In poultry, we have some interesting results as well. We have done tests in Canada and we have gone in Bangladesh as well with CP Research Farm. And I have another one, not here, but done in New Zealand. It gives exactly same kind of result. It means we are able to improve final weight of broiler by 2.5%, average of 2.5%. In layer, for now I only have a commercial observation, but it gives good expectation. We have good. It means we are able before the peak of production, we are able to improve the laying rate by 3.5% here. So same feed intake. Then on the older lay, from 45 to 49 weeks, in this case we keep the same laying rate, but we are able to reduce feed intake. So of course that's a commercial observation, commercial farm. We will proceed to a research trial next year. Here is one test. I'll just show you this part of the trial that's done by University of Guelph in Canada. So maybe the most famous university in for animal, and it was, by the way, published in the Poultry Science Journal. But this just to show you on liter, we take some sample of liter, and we have seen that the product, the liter which contains Silica Plus, we have a lower pH. When you are able to reduce the pH of the liter, you control ammonium. I mean, you have higher ammonium. It means you have a lower emission of ammonia because, of course, there is a balance between these two molecules. So here you see each phase there is an improvement in ammonium, which is you reduce the loss of nitrogen in the liter. To summarize, just the main idea to keep in mind is like the extra profit per bird is between 7 and 8 cents per bird on poultry. And on aquaculture, we also have very interesting result. Here you can see on the feed conversion rate was different tests done in Thailand and China and also Indonesia. It was supervised by Dr. Brew from University of Guelph. And here you can see we are able to reduce feed conversion rate by 12 points. Actually, the best result we have so far is in aquaculture. Then a specific growth rate is also increased by an average of 4.3% on shrimp and fish. Here is the only one we have for now in catfish, was done in Indonesia. You can see how the final biomass is improved. This is due to, in fact, what's happened here, we lost a lot of fish. There is a high mortality rate due to bad water quality, but because Silica Plus is able to improve oxygen and so improve water quality, we're able to increase the survival rate in the Silica Plus group. So it gives you an extra an improvement on final biomass by almost 40%. And this, what I told you, that in survival rate, these two tests in Nang Lang University in Vietnam, where we improve survival rate from 67 to 70, from 67 to 79, and then this is in catfish. There is a huge improvement due to the water quality problem. Very interesting result. On two tests we have done, we decided to work with two different levels of fish meal. So in the control group, we have 15% of fish meal, then we reduce 7.5% of fish meal. Of course, we lost performance. Here you can see you have a higher FCR. And when we had Silica Plus, we were able to compensate this loss of performance. Not all, but a part, very interesting part. Then in the second test done by Ocean Guangdong University, same thing, we have a control group at 25% fish meal. We reduced 15% fish meal though. So of course we lost FCR. And then when we had Silica Plus, we were able to compensate the performance, the loss of performance, and we maintain the same feed conversion rate. So in fact that means that we are able to compensate almost 50% of the fish meal in a diet for shrimp. So to summarize, in aquaculture, using this technology with electromagnetic frequency and crystalline silica, we are able to improve growth performance in one side, but we are also able to improve water quality by restoring the nitrogen cycle in the water. providing oxygen. So we work on two sides, and we know that water is very important in aquaculture. That's why we can see the best result in aquaculture. So to summarize, well, that's maybe the first time we have some scientific data on animal health and animal performance using this new technology of electromagnetic frequency. So we can conclude by saying that based on all I show you before, that this kind of technology now is available to improve digestive process, to improve the overall daily weight gain, and reduce FCR. And also, this new technology will help for environmental concern because it will help to reduce ammonia emission, restoring nitrogen cycle. It will also help to improve the health, global health of the animal. And it will also help to improve water quality. We know that's very important for shrimp, and also manure quality. And that's a 100% natural product, which is, I think, today where we have to go in the animal industry.